Should you go for a resale condominium or a brand new condominium? This is one of the hottest questions that I get from the ground, and there are also many debates on this topic. With so many brand new condominiums and executive condominiums coming into the market this year, many buyers are in a dilemma as to whether should they go for a brand new condominium or should they go for resale instead. So today I'll go through some of the top reasons why you should consider to go for a brand new condominium or a resale condominium, so that it can help you to make a more informed decisions. So at the end of the video, I will also go through the calculations to compare between resale condominiums versus brand new condominiums, what are the costs involved, and which one is more cost effective in the long run and also more profitable. So stay tuned until the end of the video. So what are some of the top reasons why you should go for a resale condominium? So number one, the obvious top reasons to choose a condominium is if you have a specific timeline to meet. For example, if you have a newborn baby coming out soon and you can't wait for a brand new condominium for so long and you wanted to have your own nest, you want to build your family in your own home, you do not want to rent from somebody else, then probably resale condominiums is the obvious choice. Number two reason, if you are cost sensitive, then probably going for resale condominiums is a better choice because generally resale condos are cheaper than new launches. And you can also save on some costs, for example, rental costs, because you do not need to rent, unlike buying a brand new condominium. And also you can save on some costs on renovations. So a lot of people thought that buying a resale, you need to spend more on renovation, but in fact, it may not be true because some of the resale condos are very new. For example, those just TOP or MOPEC, they are actually renovated. So in fact, you can actually save more money on renovation. Number three, if you have no alternative place to stay, for example, if you can't get along with your in-laws, you want to have your own privacy, if that's you, right, then probably going for resale is a better choice. And also, if you are someone who cannot rent from other people, you want to stay in your own house because probably you want to nail your painting on the wall and all that. So a lot of things you want to have your own freedom. So probably going for a resale is a better choice. Number four, if you require more space, generally resale condominiums are bigger than new launches. So if you're someone who prefer to have more space, then generally going for resale is a better choice. Last but not least, if you're someone who like to buy something with certainty, you are very risk averse, you do not want to buy something just based on the floor plan, because buying a brand new condominiums, generally you do not get to see the actual unit. The most is you can see the show flat, but sometimes the show flat is also comes with all the ID design and all that. So it's not the actual unit. So you maybe have a shock when you collect the key to your new unit. So in that case, if you're someone who prefer to see the actual unit, you want to go in and touch and feel the place, you can even smell the house. Yeah, so in that case, going for resale is a better choice. So what are some of the top reasons why you should go for a brand new condominium? Number one, if you are someone who like to have everything new, everything brand new, you want to be the first owner, you are someone who always go for the latest model like iPhone, even for car, you want to drive the latest model. Yeah, in that case, maybe buying a new launches is better for you, so that when you do housewarming, you can be very proud that I own the latest condominiums with all the brand new facilities, modern facilities. I got smart home features and all that. Yeah, and also some people are, I call it pantan or don't know what. So they don't like to buy from other owners because they don't know what's the history. So some of them may find not comfortable, like, hey, did anyone pass away in the house, or is there any dark history? Yeah, so buying a brand new condominium, you do not need to worry about this because you are the first owner. Number two reason is if you don't want to spend a lot of money on renovation. Just now I mentioned about buying resale, you may save on renovation costs. That is true if you are going for those already renovated and they are relatively new. But what if the resale condos that you're buying is those not renovated, maybe they're more original condition, and they are also of some age, maybe 15 years or 20 years, then you need to remove all the floor tiles, you need to renovate the toilets, which is going to be very expensive. Yeah, so generally when you buy a new launches, right, everything is already renovated, very new. In fact, the toilets, everything, you don't need to do anything. And most of the time, the developers also give a lot of freebies like fridge lah, washing machine, dryer, and all that. So you can save a lot of money. Yeah, so buying a brand new condominium, sometimes you will need to save. Sometimes you save more money in the long run. The most you need to spend is only just install the curtains and lightings. Yeah, generally some carpentry works if you require more space for cabinets and all that. But definitely is much cheaper than buying a older resale or original condition condo, which you will need to totally renovate and overhaul the place. Number 3 is if you're someone going for higher capital gain. That means you want to make money from the condominium. So generally, we see that most people make money from brand new condominiums. The reason is very obvious, because you're the first owner. So generally, first owner will make the most money because there is no previous owner who actually bought at a lower price than you. And also, you are the newest condo, so the demand will be the highest for relatively new condominiums. But I'm not saying that buying resale, you will not make money. But generally, there's a trend that we see that most people make more money buying a brand new condominiums. So if you want to go for profits, then obviously buying a brand new condominiums may be a better choice. Number 4 is if you feel that interest rate is going to go down further in the next few years. Because right now, interest rate has dropped a little bit, but it's still considered high if you compare to 5 years ago. So right now, some people are predicting that interest rate may be going down. So maybe it's a good time to go for brand new condominiums, because brand new condominiums at the initial stage, that means during the construction phase, you are paying a much lower interest because it's based on progressive payment. But if you buy a resale condominiums, you are going to pay the full interest once you collect your key, that means on completion. So later I'll show you the calculations, right, that the interest that you're paying is much more when you buy a resale condominiums versus a brand new condominiums. Number 5 is if you're someone going for a better layout. So actually nowadays the new launches are harmonized layout. So what I mean by harmonized is that you do not get these big aircon ledges, you do not get like bay window or very big balcony, because nowadays the developer are being charged for all the space that they sell to you. So right now, if you notice, right, the floor plan does not include the aircon ledge. So basically, you are paying what you get. So right now, right, most of the layouts for the new launches, they are much more efficient than in the past. So although you may see that the size is smaller, but actually it's more efficient. So don't believe, go down and have a look. Right now, I'm going to go into the calculations comparison between resale condominiums versus new launch condominium. Which one you're going to save more money in the long run? I'm going to use a 3 years horizon period to compare, because generally it takes about 3 years to construct a condominiums. Okay, so let's look at the numbers now. First of all, I'm going to use some assumptions here so that in my calculation, I can base on these assumptions. So first of all, let's compare the new launch versus resale. What are the performance over the last 10 years? Between 2014 to 2024, you can see that new launch condominiums has appreciated by about 72.76%. So I'm going to round up to 70%, which is about 7% per annum. Okay, because if you divide by 10 years, it's about 7%. How about for resale? Resale has gone up by about 40.28%. That's about 40%. So I'm going to round to 40% divided by 10 years, which give you about 4% per annum. Okay, so a lot of people at this point may think that, how come resale also make money? So actually, resale also can make money, not only new launches. A lot of people out there in the market is saying that only new launch can make money, but it's not really true. So for resale, I have seen also some resale actually perform even better than new launches. So it depends on how you choose the property. But generally, this is just a general. In fact, this is comparing the whole of Singapore condominiums. So it's just a general guide that new launch actually perform better than resale. So next, I'm going to use 2 condominiums here to compare. So for the brand new condo, I'm going to use Hulot Green. For the resale condominiums, I'm going to use Panorama, as they are nearby each other. Okay, so they are actually about 10 years apart. Okay, so what is the average PSF transaction for Hulot Green? It's 2155 per square feet. This is taken for 1,000 to 1,001 square feet type units for the past 1 year. And for Panorama is 2023 per square feet for 1,000 to 1,100 square feet unit type for the past 1 year. So with this average PSF, I'm going to extrapolate to the actual calculations. Okay, so for Hulot Green, I'm going to use the PSF of 2155 multiplied by 1066 square feet unit type. Same thing for Panorama, I'm going to use the average per square feet times 1066 square feet. Okay, so this is the typical 3-bedroom type unit. And we will get the actual purchase price here. For Hulot Green is 2,297,000. For Panorama is 2.156 million. Okay, so of course the maximum loan allowed is 75%. So I will use a 30 years loan tenure here to compare. The projected growth, right, I'm going to use just now the earlier assumption of 7% growth for new launches. In this case, it's Hulot Green, and 4% for resale Panorama. So for the next 3 years, your property is going to appreciate per annum about 4%. So you will get about 269,000 for Panorama. And for Hulot Green is projected to be about 517,000. So next thing is we'll compare the cost. So over here, there are a few variables to compare, or a few components to compare here. So first thing first, if you are going to buy brand new condo like Hulot Green, right? Definitely, if you don't have an alternative place to stay, you need to rent. So in this case, I'll consider renting because I think most people opt for renting rather than maybe stay with their parents or in-law. So in this case, let's say if they're going to rent, right, I'm going to use a nearby condominium. In this case, I use back Panorama. Of course, you can go for something cheaper like HDB. Okay, but assuming they're going to rent in a condominium, okay, let's say nearby, the average renter for 3-bedroom is about 5089. So I round up to 5,100. So in this case, I'm going to use 5,100 multiplied by 12 months for 3 years. You will get 183,000. Okay, so 183,000 is the total cost for the rental. All right, so obviously for buying Panorama, you do not need to rent. So here is NA or 0. So next component is the interest. Okay, so you can see from here the interest for Hulot Green is only 61,149. Okay, this is based on the current interest rate for BUC, about 2.73%. Okay, they based on roughly one of the best rate in the market now. Okay, so it's 2.73%. You get 61,149. Whereas for Panorama, the interest is 2.42%. And total interest that you pay is 113,441. So you notice here, just how I mentioned that when you buy a resale condominium, your interest is going to be much higher than buying a BUC. A BUC stands for building under construction. So in this case, it's almost like double. Okay. Next component is the maintenance fee. So obviously, when you buy a brand new condo, you don't need to pay maintenance fee. So during the construction phase, I'm referring to, because during the construction 3 years, the building is not yet completed, so there's no maintenance fee to be paid. Whereas for resale condominiums, you need to pay maintenance fee once you collect your key. So in this case, I'm going to assume about $350 monthly maintenance. And for the next 3 years, you are going to pay about 12,600. So for property tax is the next component. You will see that for brand new condominium, same thing. There is no property tax to be paid during the construction phase. Okay, whereas for resale condominiums, you need to pay property tax. So this is the estimated property tax for this condominium purchase price. So the other costs, like for example, renovation, furniture and fittings, right? You notice here everything put 0. Okay, of course, some people, they may put a higher amount for resale condominiums, but here I'm going to assume that probably these resale condominiums, you also don't need to renovate. And obviously, you need to spend some money, like maybe to buy some furniture, to install curtains, lightings, etc., etc. But all these are sunk costs. Sunk costs meaning to say both resale and new launches, you're going to spend roughly the same amount of money. I'm assuming in this case, okay, because I don't want to make this comparison to be biased towards the new launches. So I want to make it fair, right? So I just put 0 for both. So in this case, you will notice that the total cost for buying a brand new condominiums is higher. Okay, in this case, it's 244,749. Okay, whereas for buying a resale, it's only 136,385. So the difference is about 108,000. Okay, higher for buying a brand new condominiums. So after we compare the profits and the expenses, right? That means if I use the projected capital gains minus the cost in this example, okay, this is the net profit that I get for Hulot Green, about 272,000. Whereas for resale condominium, in this case is Panorama, the estimated profit 269,000 minus the total cost of 136,000, I will get 132,000 net profit. So comparing the two, right, you will see that actually Hulot Green, you actually make more money. So even though you're paying rental costs for buying Hulot Green, but you still get more profits here. You see, the difference is 139,000. So you may say that maybe my calculation is too optimistic because I based on 7% for Hulot Green, which is based on the past 10 years, but maybe the performance may not be so good. So I adjust a little bit to 6%, okay, instead of 7%. So when I adjust it down to 6%, right, my profits go down to 438,000, okay. So after the adjustment, right, you'll see that Hulot Green still performed better than Panorama by 61,000. So quite amazing, right? So I hope that this calculation will give you a clearer picture as to whether buying a resale condominiums will save you more money or buying a brand new condominiums. And it also address some of the concerns by buyers who have issue about renting because they feel that the buying a new launches, I need to spend a lot of money on renting. But after I show them the calculations, right, they were amazed that actually buying a brand new launches, I may even make more money than buying a resale condominiums due to the cost involved and also the potential capital gains. So is it still worthwhile to rent and buy a brand new condominium? I hope this video has given you a good insight on the comparison between resale condominium and brand new condominium. Please help me to like, subscribe and comment if you find value in this video. And if you need any advice on your next property move, do reach me at my WhatsApp number here. See you in the next video. Bye.